So here is how to do fascism for fun and profit. If you are Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, you start out by making it illegal for schools to make white children feel discomfort while being taught about our nation's history of racial discrimination and violence. That includes banning certain books. But not just history books or English literature. No. Now, even math books are being banned in the not-so-free state of Florida. Last week, the Florida Department of Education rejected 41% of math textbooks for one key reason. Many of those books contained prohibited topics, including alleged references to critical race theory. Now, of course, they did not provide any actual examples of what that could mean in a math textbook. And now, for the state's regular K-5 math classes, there is only one math book publisher that has survived the call, a company called Accelerate Learning, which happens to be a company bought out in 2018 by the Carlyle Group investment firm, which might sound familiar. Do you know who not only worked for the company for 25 years, but was also a co-CEO? Why, Virginia's newly elected Republican governor, Glenn Youngkin. Yes, the same Glenn Youngkin who campaigned on fake CRT hysteria last year and kicked off the right's election strategy for the culture war. It is quite a coinky-dink that suddenly the Carlyle-owned company will supply the only approved math textbooks that apparently won't make white children somehow feel personally responsible for long-dead white adults doing bad things. And just as Supreme Chairman DeSantis has set the authoritarian socialist agenda for other red state governors to follow, it will be interesting to see which other states not only take the same steps in banning math textbooks alongside Toni Morrison books and anything about LGBTQ people, but ultimately, which red states decide that the only option is to order from this same company, thus fattening this same company's pockets. That would be quite a win for Youngkin, who, as of last year, was reported to hold more than 6.7 million shares of the Carlyle Group. And that is how to do fascism for fun and profit. We will keep following this story and update you as we learn more. And up next, the hilarious political satirist Randy Rainbow. Stay with us. For millions of Americans, the 4 years under the rule of the Orange Menace from Florida were a hellscape, filled with one terrifying injustice, lie, and fraud after another. There was one silver lining, though, or should I say rainbow. Randy Rainbow, to be precise. You all know and love his parody videos because, frankly, he made us laugh when we wanted to cry.
Who's as dim as the dawn? Who's as grim as the dawn? Who assassinates dudes on a whim in Iran? No, his strategies couldn't be stranger when handling foreign affairs. Cheeto Christ, he's like if Jesus were pumpkin spice. Cheeto Christ, stupid czar, that tangerine-colored commissar. Alternative facts aren't actually facts. They're not facts, they're fantastical facts. They're absolutely not facts, they're just alternative facts.
And joining me now is three-time Emmy-nominated musical comedian Randy Rainbow. His book, Playing With Myself, came out this week. I have my copy, and there is a perfect spot in the book right here for you to sign it when I see you, hopefully in person sometime soon. So I'm going to hold on to it until I can get a signed copy. Welcome. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Joy. I will have my Sharpie ready for you.
Yes.
You know, you are mentioned in the book.
No, and I'm so excited. Please explain, because you know what? We're doing an interview about you. Tell them about me.
Wait, what happened to my lighting all of a sudden? It was so perfect, and now it's crazy. Okay. Anyway, listen, I do sort of my own version of celebrity gossip in the book in the most innocuous way, and I kind of spill the tea on celebrities who have come out to me, so to speak, as fellow musical theater nerds. And it's not such a joke. I mean, in my line of work, people, you know, you kind of learn who grew up on musical theater and who appreciate a good show tune. And I was so overjoyed to learn that you are one of them. So, and I'm a big fan. So any chance to, you know, drop your name in the book, I was happy for.
I love it. Well, I come from a family of, you know, actors, my son, my sister, and we do love a good musical. So let's talk about you, because what I find so much fascinating about you, but the most fascinating thing, and it is a little bit of a spoiler, I thought Randy Rainbow was a name that you created. It is a nom de guerre, but it is your real name. Please explain the history of your amazing name.
Well, if you read chapter 1 of the book, it goes through the whole origin. So I won't bore everyone with that now. But yes, I would not make it up. It sounds like the corniest stage name ever, but I would not have done that to myself. I kind of had no choice but to grow into it. But there for all the birthers out there, there is a picture of my birth certificate in the book.
And so, I mean, the thing is that your family, like so many families, you know, came from, you know, one place in Europe to another and had to change their name. And for everyone, the sort of short story is that Rainbow is a translation of what your family's original name as Jewish, European Jews. So it's like fascinating that you're really Randy Rainbow, which is cool. You also
it's the direct translation. I'm sorry. It's the direct translation of the word rainbow. So it was when they came over, it was already anglicized, and had it not been changed already, it likely would have been made into something like Rabinowitz or something. But it wasn't. It was rainbow, and I had to become a gay show queen.
Well, I mean, and so here's the other thing, and we share this in common too, both having had roots in New York and Florida, the not-so-free state of Florida. You grew up in Florida, actually not far from where my husband and I raised our 3 kids for most of their lives, South Florida, and that had to be an interesting experience even before Ron DeSantis, a young queer kid growing up in Florida whose name is Randy Rainbow, who's shy, musical theater is what brought you out of your shell. Talk about growing up in Florida, and what was that like for you?
For a number of reasons, I felt out of my element. We moved from Long Island when I was 9, and we moved around a lot. So I was kind of not really set up for success as a shy, awkward, overweight, effeminate boy. Those were not at the top of the food chain, if you can imagine, back then in elementary school. So, it's really, we joke about musical theater, but it really saved my life. Musical comedy specifically is really kind of how I escaped and into my imagination. And that's what got me through. My mother is still in Florida, and, it's challenging because she wants me to visit all the time. And I'm like, come here.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I haven't been back much since we left. Let me play a little bit of a song that you did that is directly related to Florida. And, as we all know, Florida passed and Ron DeSantis signed and championed this Don't Say Gay bill, which is actually just meanness in a bill because he thinks this is going to help him be president. But this is your response. This is a little piece of it. Take a look.
Someone's being an that's no way to be. Honey D, here's the tea. Gosh, I'd hate to upset your Republican peers, so let me say this soft so no one hears. I've always been.
Here's an interesting fact.
Gay. Oops, I said it. I'm gay. You can bet it's a badge that I wear with a fabulous flair, 'cause I'm gay, 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 gay. Sorry.
We laugh at it, and you're really great at making us laugh at things that are really tragic and terrifying. But I mean, for a lot of young LGBTQ kids, that's probably a little therapeutic, right? To hear somebody that is from Florida, that was a kid, that was a kid just like their kids right now going through this. Take us into how the kids who are in Florida now have to feel growing up in an era where their governor is saying they essentially are not allowed to exist and are not allowed to be spoken of in school.
Well, yeah, it's just reprehensible, and they twist it into this pretzel to make their argument, but it's really, as you said, it's just dog whistles and it's just political nonsense. And I don't think they really understand the consequences that it has and the effect that it has on kids like I was, who are struggling with their identities and already don't feel safe in their environments. And it's really just a horror. I have a lot of young kids and a lot of parents of young kids who are sort of like me, and they find a lot of kind of therapeutic benefits to what I do, which was a surprise and a nice surprise to me, sort of a nice byproduct of what I do.
Indeed. Okay, closing quick question. You have an encyclopedic knowledge of musicals. Do you have a favorite musical?
Oh, joy, don't put me on the spot. I have to go anything Sondheim. Sondheim was my number one, and I write in the book that I actually got to know him, but Into the Woods, Sweeney Todd, top. What about you? I wrote Wicked in the book. What's your favorite?
Well, you know what? Mine has Wicked in it because my very favorite musical ever is The Wiz. And so, of course, you know, you do have that Wicked Witch in there. So, yeah, The Wiz is my all-time favorite musical ever.
Obsessed.
And you are one of my all-time favorite people ever.
Likewise, next time we'll be together. Okay.
Yes, absolutely. I cannot wait. I'm keeping my book ready for you to sign. Randy Rainbow, author of Playing with Myself. This is a great book to send to kids, particularly in Florida. We're not gonna let them ban it. We're gonna send copies to all of our LGBTQ friends in Florida. Randy Rainbow, thank you so much, my friend. Really appreciate you.
Thank you, Joy.
Okay. How jealous are you guys? I got to talk to Randy Rainbow. That was pretty cool, right? So thank you, Randy Rainbow. You're amazing. Thank you. And I definitely want to hang out with you, and maybe we can sing a song together. It will be great. That is tonight's REIDOUT. Woo, Randy Rainbow. All in with Chris Hayes.